Financial assistance is also critically important, and I would like to thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for both financial packages you have already provided us with and the ones you may be willing to decide on. Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security and democracy that we handle in the most responsible way. We have artillery. Yes. Thank you. We have it. Is it enough? Honestly, not really.
Now to the latest in the Ukraine war. A lot is happening there. President Zelensky is under fire for corruption. A new report says he embezzled the aid money. He says Zelensky and his team have embezzled about $400 million. $400 million. Apparently, this was done last year. Do you remember what else started last year? Zelensky began his sacking spree. He fired many top officials, all for corruption. Now, the new report says this was done to placate the US and that American officials knew that Zelensky and team are skimming millions. They wanted the corruption to be more discreet. This is all in Seymour Hersh's report. He says CIA Director William Burns presented a list of 35 names to Zelensky, and some of those people were fired. Zelensky was under pressure from the Americans, so he sacked some of his people.
My oath of office is to the U.S. Constitution, not to any foreign nation. And no matter how sympathetic the cause, my oath of office is to the national security of the United States of America. We cannot save Ukraine by dooming the U.S. economy. This bill under consideration would spend $40 billion. This is the second spending bill for Ukraine in 2 months. And this bill is 3 times larger than the first. Our military aid to Ukraine is nothing new, though. Since 2014, the United States has provided more than $6 billion in security assistance to Ukraine, in addition to the $14 billion Congress authorized just a month ago. If this bill passes, the U.S. will have authorized roughly $60 billion in total spending for Ukraine. Let's put $60 billion into perspective. According to Elias Yusef, a security assistant at the Stimson Center, Kiev would become the largest yearly recipient of U.S. military aid of the past 2 decades. Except for the top 5 countries, $60 billion is more than every other country in the world spends on their entire military expenditures. If this gift to Ukraine passes, our total aid to Ukraine will almost equal the entire military budget of Russia. And it's not as if we have that money lying around. We will have to borrow that money from China to send it to Ukraine. The cost of this package we are voting on today is more than the U.S. spent during the first year of the U.S. conflict in Afghanistan. Congress authorized force, and the president sent troops into the conflict. The same cannot be said of Ukraine. This proposal towers over domestic priorities as well. The massive package of $60 billion to Ukraine dwarfs the $6 million spent on cancer research annually. $60 billion is more than the amount the government collects in gas taxes each year to build roads and bridges. The $60 billion to Ukraine could fund substantial portions or entire large cabinet departments. The $60 billion nearly equals the entire State Department budget. The $60 billion exceeds the budget for the Department of Homeland Security and for the Department of Energy. And Congress just wants to keep on spending and spending.
Bakhmut is not just a stronghold that holds back the Russian army, but for the Russian army to completely pull out, more cannons and shells are needed.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky took his fight to Congress,
Ukraine is alive and kicking.
arguing that it's in America's own interest to support Ukraine.
Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security and democracy.
After enduring 11 months of Russian bombardment, Ukrainians are fighting off battle fatigue, not only among their forces, but from partners and allies, including the United States.
And your support is crucial. We have artillery. Yes. Thank you. We have it. Is it enough? Honestly, not really.
Zelensky's trip comes at a critical time as Congress is set to approve a $45 billion assistance package for Ukraine, the largest yet. With Republicans set to take control of Congress, the Ukrainian leader has the tough task of trying to convince some members of the party that this isn't open-ended financial support.
Can't keep up with it. I mean, and we're just flushing money out, and we don't know where it's going.
I'm honored to welcome you back to the White House.
Still in a joint press conference earlier Wednesday, President Biden told Zelensky America is in it for the long haul.
American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes.
The president also announced that support will include a Patriot missile system, something Ukraine has long asked for, capable of shooting down Russian aircrafts and ballistic missiles in all weather conditions.
It's a defensive weapon system. It's not escalatory, it's defensive. And it's easy to and we'd love to not have to have them use it, just stop the attacks.
But neither leader seem to believe a sudden ceasefire is likely. Before traveling to the U.S., Zelensky visited the front lines in the embattled city of Bakhmut, where soldiers signed a flag he presented to members of Congress.
This flag is a symbol of our victory. In this war, we stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
And after the speech, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told CBS News he asked Zelensky privately what it would mean if the U.S. didn't pass this aid package. Gail, he said it could mean losing the war.
Ніхто не бачив, яка насправді була українська людська ті прокляти, безжально мочим.
Слухай, ну
should have had that in Lviv, the McDonald's fast food croissant of Ukraine. Have it everywhere in Ukraine, Lviv, Odessa, Kiev, I presume every other city. But really good, actually only like $2 each. But yeah, And after a 10-minute taxi ride, we are in Arcadia. It's basically like Arcadia City. This is so different. Huge shopping malls, huge hotels, very like Las Vegas-y, Ibiza of Ukraine. Huge, great shopping malls, huge skyscrapers, and then we're walking through to like this other outdoor shopping mall that leads down to the beach. You can get a bus here, but taxi seems to make most sense. We are on holiday today, after all. This is like where you'd stay if you want to come to the beach, chill out on holiday, and then you've got the city only like 3 miles away if you want the city architecture. So you sort of get a 2-in-1 here in Odessa.
I mean, this is totally unexpected. I did not even think that it would be anything like this. It really is.
It's so different to the city.
But it really is its own city, and I didn't expect it to be so busy either. Considering the weather, I mean, it's warm, but it's kind of gloomy looking. It's still really busy, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get into our bikinis. This is literally just like a promenade full of really nice restaurants and bars, and I feel like this, you just follow this all the way down, we're going to get to some sort of beach.
Go there.
Where?
Go there.
What, to Radioactive?
I think we are. I think we could be after Chernobyl.
Radioactive.
Definitely. I think
it's even got our mask, look.
It has. I don't even know where that gas mask is. This is very like themed bars, themed restaurants. Reminds me of like Sunny Beach.
Yeah,
Ibiza,
your typical holiday
destination.
Restaurant.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky took his fight to Congress.
Ukraine is alive and kicking.
Arguing that it's in America's own interest to support Ukraine.
Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security and democracy. We have artillery. Yes. Thank you. We have it. Is it enough? Honestly, not really.
Zelensky's trip comes at a critical time as Congress is set to approve a $45 billion assistance package for Ukraine.